Sanbonani, greetings from Malusi. Today I've got for you my new graphics card, which is the Gigabyte G1 Gaming GTX 970. This is the one with the metal backplate, and the one without the backplate, it was also there, it was available, but it was 200 Rand less. Now in my opinion, 200 Rand isn't so much to cry about. Just get the one with the backplate. It looks so much better. But I think in terms of actual specs and the performance, they should be similar, identical. But yeah, this is the one I've got right now. I've got the G1 Gaming, the one with the back plate. And yes, and then this is the box. This is my box right there. I just want you to, was a little disappointed that the box is a little bit damaged there at the top, but the card itself is fine, so didn't return it. It's the super overclocked one. It's got it supports flex display, which has, you can connect up to 4 displays, and it's got the Windforce cooler, the one with 3 fans. Very quiet cooler, very nice looking cooler as well. And then this is the back of the actual box. You've got an exploded view of the actual graphics card itself and the cooler and everything there. And then it just tells you that flex display. And then there are the actual connections at the back of the card. You get a DVI-D, a DVI-I, you get 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. Yeah. And says super clock GP gauntlet sorting, which means they kind of pick the best overclocking cards for this actual series of graphics card right there. So taking a look at the box inside, which you get a box. Inside the box, if you open that one that I was showing, you get this box inside. Let me put this one aside, put it there. And as you can see, this one's also damaged there at the top. So, and then this is where your graphics card and all your other accessories are in. So the graphics card would be in here. It was in this plastic. It's currently in my actual system. And then inside here you get 1 6-pin and 8-pin cables. You get a quick guide, and then when I bought this, you get this free game coupon, which you can scratch that, get a code, and then you go download one of these 3 free games. It's either you can get the Crew, Far Cry 4, or Assassin's Creed Unity. Then you get your driver's disc. Yeah, and that's everything you get inside the box, except for the card itself, which is in my machine right now. I actually have i7-930. I did kind of overclock it a bit to 3.5, and it's got the PCI 2.0 lanes. So this is a PCI 3.0 lane, 3.0 graphics card, but then it does work on the PCI 2.0. So for all of you who have older PCs and wanted to know if this card actually does run on this newer machine, it does. I will say it is worlds better than my old one. I had a GT240, MSI GT240, so obviously anything after that would have been worlds apart, but I cannot stress how impressed I am with this card. All the games that I used to play just run buttery smooth. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some benchmarks, show you some games, and yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to compare it with my old graphics card, as I did not really benchmark that one, do any benchmarks on that one, and I doubt that some of them will actually work on it, because it was still using the DirectX 9, and I've seen on some of these benchmarks that they require 10 or 11. So yeah, let me not waste any more time. Let's look at the benchmarks. Alright, our first benchmark is going to be a game, Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 4. So let's first go through the options. Graphics settings, as you can see, it's 1080p, VSync on, frame rate smooth, anti-aliasing times 8, filtering times 16, and everything else is on high except for the extra effects. Those are off. Okay, and then we're just gonna run the actual benchmark that comes with the game, and there. And we get a score of 5,940 with the average frames per second of 222.835. Alright, next up I'm gonna run Unigine Haven benchmark 4.0, and then I'm using open hardware monitor. I'm just gonna reset everything. Then I'm going to run the benchmark. So it's DirectX 11. We've got anti-aliasing times 8, and then at 1080p. And then we're going to run the benchmark. Alright, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through the whole thing. I'll just come back once it's done. Alright, we're back, and after a couple of minutes we've got what is it? 43.7 frames. I think that's the average, a score of 11,000. A score of 1,100, and then a minimum frames per second of 10, and then the max of 71.9. So that is with 8 times AA. So I'm not really happy with that, so I'm gonna try this again. Where's that quit? Yeah. So I want to try it again without the AA, the anti-aliasing. So I'm going to turn it off here. Then I'm going to run the benchmark again. Run. Let's go. Alright, so this is the benchmark without anti-aliasing. So we're gonna just let it run through again, and then I'll be back again at the end. Alright, we're back, and then this one is the one without the anti-aliasing. We get average frames per second of 109. We get a score of 2,747. We get a minimum frames of 24, and then the max was 225. So a big improvement over there. And then let's go check out we did open what is that open hardware monitor. So we're just gonna go back there and see. So we've got the CPU. The CPU went up to 3.6 I suppose megahertz or gigahertz, 3.6 gigahertz. And then the core temperature, the hottest core went up to 67 degrees. That is the CPU temperature. And then the CPU load, the total load on the CPU was 38%. And then we're gonna go the memory. I've got 8 gigs. Max load was 28%. And then let us go to the actual graphics card itself. The GPU core went up to 1,404 megahertz. The GPU memory went up to 3,506. GPU shader went up to 2,809. And GPU temperature went up to 75 degrees. GPU core was used 99%. GPU memory controller was 67, and GPU memory was 28%. And according to this, the GPU fans went up to about 75%, which in all honesty, I didn't hear any noise from the actual benchmark, so it was still pretty quiet. And that's the benchmark for you. Yes, sir. So that has been a look at the GTX 970, the G1 Gaming from Gigabyte on a PCI 2.0 lane, i7 930 for you. And as you can see, the CPU has not really even reached 100% usage on the game, and on Unigine Valley, I think, Haven, sorry, on the benchmark, nor on the game. So I don't know. Maybe there are other CPU demanding games that I don't play. Perhaps you might suggest a few that you think I should try run on my machine and see if it actually does bottleneck. But from what I can see so far is that my i7 930 does not bottle my GTX 970. In fact, it's quite dark. I'm just loving the gaming experience as of right now. So yeah, and my FIFA, I'm not even gonna bother bringing that up because I have limited it to 60 frames because I've got a 60 frames monitor. It only refreshes at 60 frames, 60 hertz, so it doesn't dip under 60. In fact, it's there playing around your 80s, your 70s, so frames per second, so there's no need to even include that benchmark. So all the games that I pretty much play on a daily basis, they just run flawlessly on this. So yes, for all of those that were curious if this card will work with the older kind of PC, there you have it. It works from what I can perceive very well. So yeah, do stay tuned for some proper gaming videos and probably FIFA, but I will look into other games. And yeah, thanks for watching.